On a small announcement, guys. I think on 15th, we had some net issues, right? Like, where the screen was not shared. Actually, I have covered those things in the last two classes in the last week, which the issue happened. And that video will be uploaded. And any of the DAX part, I think I have already covered in the last session. Once again, I've repeated that session. Okay. So till now, I think we have learned quite a lot of things in Power BI. Understanding what exactly is Power BI is one of the best business intelligence tools from Microsoft, which helps you to extract the data, do the transformation of the data, and convert this particular data into the visuals and present it. Okay. It might be the business analyst who is going to take a decision. Okay. Mainly to the decision makers, where they can easily understand those data and they can take a better decision. Fine. So on that basis, we have seen how do you go to the Power Query editor and how do we do the transformation of the data. We have seen, okay, how do we apply the filters. We have seen how do we do some different types of calculations. It might be a SumX, a calculate functions. Inside the calculate functions, you can use a sum, average, or whatever it is, and we can apply the filters, which is equivalent to count if, sum if, averages, and all these things. So we can do it. Then we have seen with some kind of a time intelligence functions with respect to same period last year, total YTD, MTD, QTD function. So to see the cumulative total on the date wise. So which you want as a day wise, month wise, or you want as a quarterly wise or yearly wise, you want a cumulative. And then we also have studied with different visuals, taking from a simple bar chart. In the bar chart itself, how do you have what is say clustered bar chart, stacked bar chart? Okay. Then we have seen with the pie chart, donut chart. Okay, donut, you can have one more additional visuals on that. And then we have seen with the line charts, area charts, stacked area charts, and then we also have seen with the combo charts, geographical charts. Okay, we also have seen with the scatter plot, so where we can do the comparing between the two measurable values. And also we have studied with tables and matrix, how we can have a drill options in the matrix. And then we have seen with how do we use some different, what to say, the cards. Okay, that is what, we saw this, what is the total sales, the KPIs, total profit, quantity, what is it, so, okay, count of how many states are there, number of customers are there, and things, yeah. Okay, we also saw like, which state was the highest, what to say, yeah, which state did the highest sales, okay. And if I select a particular region, it automatically shows in South region, Florida, in the central region, this one, and so on. Fine, we have studied with this. I think we also did with creating this kind of a dashboard, is it? And we also saw with the QA, is it? QA is like, very interactive, like, you can just put a question. How can I subtract if I want to get the profit from between sales and the cost? Hey, you can subtract, like how we, okay, how do we subtract? I think we have done this in the DAX. Okay. Yeah, your question is how do we do a subtract? See, we actually did this in the DAX function, if you remember. I hope you were there. We can even get in. Okay. If you look into the last week's video also, we have done it repeatedly also, twice also. We have done repeated also, the last Saturday's video. Okay. No problem. Nevertheless, I can just do that. So if I have to subtract, that means each column wise you want it, is it? So I just go to the data here and I'll go to the new column. And when you look into this particular data, I have a sales and the profit. I want to find the cost. If I have to find the cost, it is going to be nothing but sales minus profit. Okay? From the sales, you need to subtract the profit. Okay. So when I hit on this new column, when I hit on this particular, what you say, the new column. Okay. So you can see automatically a new column has come, and here you can see the formula bar, a column name has come here. Okay. So what will I do in this one is, I just say what is the name of the column you want. See, we have a sales and we have a profit. I think this was the question. No? How do we do the subtraction? So it is nothing but the cost value. That means sales, from the sales, if you subtract the profit, you'll get the cost. So cost is nothing but your sales. Okay, from the orders is my table. In the table sales column, that means it is referring to the table name. Within the table, the sales column minus profit. Okay, from the orders table, take the profit column. That's it. Yeah, I think. Actually, we did it 2 times this time. The last week also, previous last week also. 38 is the sales and the profit is 18, the cost is 20. And this is the formula. Okay. Hope all have practiced whatever we have done. Because we have done quite a lot of things in Power BI till now. Okay, fine. Chalo. Today's session is, we see a kind of, we have seen with the different visuals. How do we group it in a single page, and how do we have some kind of visual to visual actions, and then we'll also see how do we publish this particular, whatever the reports you create here to the Power BI service. And then we'll also be studying about your, how do we get connected to the data source. So you'll be getting the account. I think in last class I was discussing about getting more visuals, and if you have to go with the more visuals, you need to have a corporate account. You cannot do with your individual account. Okay, I discussed with the ATH team and they are preparing on that. I think by tomorrow you should be getting your email ID. So that is going to be a corporate email ID, with the help of which you can go for the more visuals. Okay, I have already discussed with the ATH team and they'll be sharing you the corporate IDs. Okay. Okay. The next thing is today's session is, okay, first thing is here we'll just see, like, how do we create this kind of a report, okay, where I can have multiple visuals in a single page, and how we can have interactivity, and we'll also see how do we publish this into the Power BI service. The very first task we'll have to do. Okay, fine, we have done quite a lot of sheets here, so let's create a separate sheet. Okay, I don't need this now. Now what I will do is, I just want to have the sales analysis. Anyway, now we have seen with a lot of measures here. So I want to create a kind of a dashboard. I just want to create a dashboard here. So for a dashboard is nothing but is a collection of multiple visuals. It can be even the table data. It can be even the cards, everything in a single page. Okay. So anyway, in this particular page, I just have some KPIs. No, I just don't want to waste the time since we have done this in the last class. Here I have something like, total sales, total profit. This is sales and this is a profit. And this is a quantity and this is the number of this one. So I just will try to paste percentages there. Okay. So now we have this count of how many states are there, which state has done the highest sales and things. So now what I want is, okay, I don't want the count of states, but I want to know, like, say, okay, see, if I just say again, interactive, last time we created this, no? If I select a region, it says in that region how many states are there. Totally 50 states. In the east we have 14 regions. Okay, 14 states. In the south we have 11 states, and the west we have, okay, we have this thing, and so on. So now I just want to take this one itself and let me go ahead. What I want is, I think we don't want all this thing. Okay. Try to keep it simple. We have a sales, we have a profit, and we have some of quantity, how much of quantity is sold. I also want to know the profit percentage. If I have to get the profit percentage, we need to get a calculated column. So how do we get a profit percentage? The profit percentage is nothing but your total profit divided by the total sales into 100. We should be able to get the profit percentage. Okay. Let us do that. I think that measurable value is another. Fine. If I have to do that, what I do, I just take a quick measure here. Because I want to create a new measure, the new calculated column. You have also seen this one, profit percentage. I'm just doing it here. Profit percentage, I'll just say, is nothing but sum of sales. Sum of profit. And okay, this is profit divided by sum of sales. Okay, profit divided by sales into 100, is it? So this should give you the profit percentage. Sure. I take a card. So now we'll be creating a report, guys. Okay. So we'll try to get a sales report here. So we'll try to see the sales in the different angles. So for that, I just need some KPIs here. And here I just take the profit percentage. Yeah. So totally I have a profit for all the region is 12%. Okay. I want this particular formatting feature and this also. Yeah. Okay. So now what I want here is, since we have all this particular profit, sales, quantity, and even the profit percentage and things. So now I just want to create a sales report. Suppose if I have to create a sales report, what is that I want here is, I want to see the sales on a different angle. Okay. So here I just have some metrics here. Okay. What is the values? What is the total sales? What is the profit, quantity, and the profit percentage? Yeah, we're able to analyze it. Now what I want is, I want to know what is the sales on the different region wise. Okay. We have 4 regions. Each region wise, what is the sales? I want to show that in the form of a pie chart, maybe a donut chart should be good. I just select this. And I'll just say in this case, what is that I want? I want the region wise sales. Yeah. We have 4 regions, and how is the sales happening? And I want to have a better plot. I'll just remove this legends. I just remove the legend here. Good. And this particular, what you say, the labels are not that very color. No, this is not full black color. It is half black, is it? So I'll change the labels, data labels, and I just say I want as category and the percentage of the total. I don't want that sales value there. Okay. And I want those particular values to be bold. Okay. And I want to have a slightly higher font, bigger font, and not too big also. Okay. And I say not this color. I just try to give some different color so that it'll be more visible. Okay, fine. I think this is okay. Is it? Okay. So even you can have a placements. Prefer outside. Prefer inside. It is trying to fit inside. Is visible. I think prefer outside is better. Okay, here I have this particular region-wide sales. Cool. Now what I want is the title. Let us keep it a center line. Sum of sales by region. I want to make it bold. I want to have a different text color. I think Back. Yeah. So fine. So this is my, what you say, the region-wise sales. This is my region-wise sales. See, you can get into focus mode and you can just do all the formatting features, whatever is needed and all those things. And you say back, it just comes back. And you can just say all the placements you want to do. Right. Now, what I want to next is we have a region-wise sales. And next to that, I just want to show the map. Okay. And the map should be like, if it has to show me all the region, within the region, every state, how the sales have happened. I want to display that. If I have to do that, what is that we do here? So I just take this particular map visualization. We have this particular map, is it field map? Okay, and I can just get into focus mode to say like, you can get into complete focus. Now what I want to see is, I want to see the state-wise. What is the sales? See, we have already done all these things, is it? I'm just trying to get everything in a single page. So I'm trying to get the state-wise, what is the sales value, and what I want in this one. I want the fill color, and I want the coloring to be filled based on the sales value. I just click on this FX function, and here higher sales dark color, lower sales light color, or lower sales we can give it might be a redder color. Red should be a negative. Lower sales we'll try to give it as, yeah, fine. I think we'll try to give a low sales in red color, and high sales in blue color should be good. Any other blue color, I think. I'm just giving this, and it should be count of statement. It should be sum of sales. Based on the sales, sum of sales. How should we format anti-sales? It's 0. Okay, fine. So now, highest sales will be in the dark blue, lowest sales will be in the reddish color. Okay, I think if I just say okay. Yeah, so accordingly you can see the state which has done the highest sales in blue color. So that means highest sales is done only in California and New York. They have extremely very high sales. And the kind of average sale is Washington, Texas, Florida, Illinois, and all the thing are kind of average. And you can see all this red color is like, the low sales. I think this is okay. This is fine, no? Okay. Coloring. See, you want to color based on the measurable value. I just use the FX function and you can do the color. Okay, this looks good. Okay, so now what I want in this one is, I'll just keep it back here. So, and I say, I just want to keep it next to this. I think something got changed, is it? Sum of sales. Highest value, I can give something. Maybe we can give it green, no? Should be good, is it? And the lowest value, I'll just give it in red. That again should be good. And between medium, no, I can just add a middle color also. I'll just give a whitish color. Light and this one. Okay. Yellowish color. A kind of yellow color should be good. Average and low. Lowest value is in this color. Highest value is this. Average value is this. Okay. Yeah, it just applies. I think this should be okay, better. Okay. High sale, average sale, and the low sale. Okay. Fine. Color gradient system. See, back to the report. So now I can just place this. So it should be good. This looks good here. We have this region. And I also want to show how the sales happen over a period of time. How the sales have happened over a period of time. How the sales have happened. I just want to get that. Okay, if you want to go with the over a period of time, I prefer is your line chart. So we'll go with the line chart. So a line chart के लिए, so what is that we'll do? I just take this particular, the line chart, where is my line chart? I just take this, and then I just want to order date, and I want to see the sales. Get in the focus mode. It's not state, it's sales. And I'll just go upward, upward. Field is good, no? Field line chart is better than the line chart, no? Rather than the plain thing. And fine, this is the kind of sales, and I can just put it across with the different regions. So I can just stack it based on the regions. So legends may I'll add a region here. It shows region wise how the sales have happened. It is showing. Okay. I think I say fine, this is still good. And I say I just like to place it somewhere here. Okay, the position is good. Share it. Now apart from this, we have already studied about the slicers, no? We did study about the slicer. Slicer is nothing but is a kind of a filter, but it is an interactive filter. See, like example, I want to get the information for a particular year. Okay, this is for all the years. I want to get only for the particular year. So what I will do here is, I'll take the help of a slicer, like in Power Pivot we have no pivot table slicer, and I'll take the order date here. It just shows me the order date here, and you can see, oh, it is showing the sliding kind of thing. So between this date to this date, how the sales have happened. And when you select, you can see the complete chart, all the visuals, all the numbers, everything is changing accordingly. It is like, between this date to this date, how the sales have happened, it is showing accordingly. Okay, the complete chart is getting this one. No, again, the sliding and all these things, we can have this particular, what to say, select the date, which date to which date and all. But rather than that, I want to show each year wise sales. 2018 what is sales, 19, 20, 21, what is the sales? I want to see in that way. So what I will do is I just select this, and I'll just say, no, I don't want this filter, but I want the slicer for here. But you can see here order date, what is there. I'll just select this, and here I say date hierarchy. You can see by default it is order date. I say no, change it to hierarchy. Hierarchy is what? Level wise. Okay, you can see a year, quarter, month, and day. Okay, and you say I want only 2018 sales. If I select this, it will show only the sales of 2018. And within 2018, we can see it is showing for all the quarters. I say no, I don't want. I want only Q2 and Q3 of it. Accordingly, to change. So I say no. What I want is I just want to display only the years. I don't want the day. I don't want the month. I don't want the quarter. I just remove the other things. I just showed only this one. Okay, so we have this. But I want to have a display not like this. But instead of this, I want to have a kind of a tile. Tiles, like we have this the tiles, no? So like this you want to have. So in this case, what we will do is I'll just get into the visualization here, and we have a slicer setting. Okay, so we have vertical, and so vertical, I just say tile. Okay, and why is the blank here? Fine. Is blank. Yeah. So in this case, what I can do here is I can just resize this. And just place it here. And you can increase the font size and all those things, guys. So there is a blank also. Non-null, we can remove it off. Yeah. So I can just format that particular thing. Values, what is there? I want to make it bold, say pure black, and I say make it bigger font. maybe I want to change even the borders, colors, background. Okay. So we just have this particular thing here. Now what we can do is we have this particular year selection here. The same way I want to have other slicers, like what segments you wanted. So I can just take another slicer here. So I'll just take another slicer. So I want to, the slicer, as I said, is a filter. So I say I want to have a filter based on the segment wise or category or subcategory. So all the things we can just try to have it. Say example, I want to go with the category. It just shows me like, what other categories are there. Okay. And we can apply the filters. Or I just take a segment here. So we have, and here you can just take this. Okay, I don't want the category. I don't want the segment. And then I can just go to the visualization here. I think tiles is better. Slicer settings, I think the tiles is better. Or you can even have a drop down. So you can have a drop down like this. It shows like a combo box. It will save a lot of space here. That is the advantage you get in the case of drop down. So we can just drop down and select which segment you want. That will be only for the consumer. And all the sales is change only for the consumer. Say I want for everything. Okay, so we have this. And I say I want to have the subcategory wise sales also. So just type. To get one more chart here. So what is that? I just take this. And I just want to take the subcategory wise, what is sales. Okay, I think this should be fine. So this is a kind of a report, guys. So yeah, I can just increase the font and all these things can be done. Okay. Now when you look into this, okay, this is my report here, where you can see that we have the information like what is the total sales, profit, and all those things, and we just have some kind of filters here. Which year you want this particular selection has to be done, and then you can also have the information like which segment you auto filter. Apart from that, we have the other information here, total sales and all these things. Good. So everything is fine. It looks good. Okay. Now, fine. Clear? And see, this is one thing. We have a slicer here. So when you select a slicer, it is used for applying the filter. If I select 2020, so it will show me only the sales which has happened in the year 2020. You can see all those particular values, everything is changing according to that. Okay, fine. So now we have this particular thing. So now what is that I want to do here? See, like this is one thing. So when you select on this, okay, you can select multiple. It is showing the sales of 2019 and 2020. Okay, so So we can have a multi-select. See, right now it is not allowing me to select multiple. Even if I use the control key or shift key, it is not allowing me. So if I want to have multi-select options, so we need to go for this visualizations here, and there slicer setting. Here you need to change this particular to multi-select slicer setting selection option here. So you can see multi-select with control. With the control key you can select. Yeah, with the control key you want to select, or you want to have multi-select without the control key. If it is without the control key, okay, what happens is you select this and then you select this. All the items you want, you can just select it. So selected item is in blue color and deselected is in the black color. I want to select this also, or you want to deselect it so we can have it, or you want with the control. Okay, select that options are there. And if I say, see right now what I've done is I'm just selecting only for 2020. This is the sales of 2020. Okay, so if I just select this, yeah, this is the sales of 2020 only alone. Okay, 619. Within that, I select a particular segment of customers. I say I want to see only the corporate segment. In 2020, corporate segment, we had only sales of 207K. 2 lakhs of sales. Okay, and fine. So this is fine. And not only that, here you will have by default is action filters. Action filters is what? If I select the West region, and you can see all the information is showing only for the West region, pertaining only to the West region. So you can see it is automatically just taking the West region sales and it is fine. So I can just clear this selection. Let's clear this also. You can see better this one. Okay, this is your West region, and you can see a bar chart also. What is happening is these are total sales, out of which the dark color is the West region. If I select the East, from the total, what is the contribution by the East region? So what is the central region? We can see, and we can see map is also automatically zooming in. And not only that, you can see a line chart is also showing only that region. If I select the South region, you can see a line chart is also changing only for South region. So you can see 2018 was very good. And then, in Q1, Q2 was good. And after that, you can see the sales are very low. And it has done good in the end, last quarter, but you can see sales was very low. But you can see the West region, where they show a progressive sales and ups and downs. And accordingly, everything is changing. So this is the dashboard. Got it, guys? All understood? How do we create this? You want time? So you want thing. I just give 5 minutes. You all can try this. Adding this particular cards, adding the different visuals, placing it and a different positioning it, and then placing the slicers and filters. We have one is a tile slicer, and we also have a drop-down slicer. I think I shall give 5 minutes. You all can try this. If I select Florida, you can see it will show only the sales of California sales. Just click on the California. This will show only the sales. And if I want to see a particular, this one, California sales, just click on the California. This will show only the sales of California. If I select Florida, you can see it will show only the sales of Florida. It is in South region. This is the Florida, the dark one. And you can see this kind of out of the total sales, how's the Florida sales. Or I want to see only the sales of phones. So if I select the phones, it will show me only the phone sales in every this one. Phones in California. So I'm just selecting the California. That's California, and I'll select the phones. Okay, that is. Now when you select the other one, so that is where the actual, what is it, filters are used. Okay, all are doing it, no? I said I'll give 5 minutes. I think another 2 3 minutes you can try all this. Yeah. Once you're done, you can just give me a confirmation. All of you done? Almost. Okay, fine. Another 2 minutes should be fine. Okay, fine, we can go ahead. Okay, fine. Oh, that's really good. Fine. See, once you have done this, I hope you understood, like, this one, when you select a particular year, you can see everything is showing according to that. Okay, so all this particular data is changing. Okay, based on the selection. See, you can see when you select the year, now it is in 2018 phones, how the sales happened. In 2018, you can see in this particular state, there was no phone sales at all. Okay, because you have selected two things. It is one a year, and other one is your subcategory also. Those who have not completed can complete it. I will just give another minute time. I hope now all have done, is it? Okay. See, okay, fine. I hope now all have done, is it? Okay. See, I hope any questions are there with respect to this dashboard, guys. I hope it is clear. I hope you have understood this dashboard. Okay. Thanks for your confirmations, guys. Chalo. The next thing here is how do we publish this? Okay, into the Power BI service. I just click on this particular publish. How the subcategory works, please explain. Okay. See, what I've done here is I've just taken a bar chart. Okay, I think I was publishing this. Okay, see, first thing is publishing is happening. I replace yes. See, this particular bar chart is fine, no? How do we create a bar chart? Because it's a text message. It is not very clear. See, this is my bar chart. So in the bar chart, we have just shown this particular, what is a horizontal bar here. Each bar is represented. Now, if I select any this one, you can see if I say 2019, this will show me only the sales of 2019. Okay, if I select here, I need to confirm this, no? I think got it. The publishing was happening for the reason. See, um, so you are asking me, the question is like how this particular bar chart works. See, this is the bar chart which is being created based on the subcategory wise what is the sales data. Okay, so this chart is being created based on the subcategory wise what is the sales data. Okay, subcategory wise sum of sales. Now, if I select a particular year, say 2020, it shows me only the sales which has happened in 2020. So you can see that it shows the sales of 2020. Okay, it is, if I show the numbers there, no, you'll know. Labels. And you can see if I say 2019, these numbers are changing. Okay, fine. Now, but what happens at the same time is if I select California, out of this overall sales, it will show me only the sales which is happening in California. See, when I go with the action filters, okay, if I select on any visual, so that means, okay, from the total sales, California is this much. Okay, from the total sales, New York is this much. Okay, if I from the total sales, if I select Florida, okay, Florida, it is this much of sales. It's been done. Okay, so I just click outside, that will get deselected. If I select this East region, so it says out of the total sales, what is the sales in the East region? So that is how it happens, filter, when you go to the action to action filter. Now, to unselect it, just click outside in the same bar. Okay, so the deselection happens. But if I select this particular, say, consumer segment, so this is going to filter complete bar chart gets filtered only for the consumer segment. So you can see it has reduced. Okay, so when it was all, it was showing a different number, is it? 39K, now you can see 72K. And if I say this is showing only for sales of 2019, if I say 2020, 2018, so it shows me only the sales of that particular this one. If I just select the clear all, so you can see it is showing the overall sales. Okay, I hope I answered your question. Okay, fine, thank you. The next thing here is I've published it. So I just click on this particular publish, guys. I just clicked on this publish. So when you hit on the publish, so first thing is what happens, it'll ask you your credentials, which I said no, you will be getting your credentials by tomorrow max testing. So by tomorrow's session, you'll have a credentials also. Don't worry about that. And I've already discussed about that with the ATST. And now what I want is, okay, when I click on publish, you can see this will open your Power BI in your Power BI service. That is something but it's a browser based. So when you see here, it's a browser based, it has opened all these things in your browser. Okay. Now in the browser, you can see it shows me all the pages, and this is your page where you have created the report. So everything is here. Okay. And then what is that we do in this one is from here, you want to download as a PDF, as a PowerPoint slide. So you have those particular options. We click on download, you say Power BI desktop. You want to download as a Power BI desktop, that means to work on the local machine, or you want to as Power BI for mobile, or paginated reports, or analyze in Excel updates. You want to do, we can do those things. Okay, and yeah, you want to export this particular file. Okay, so to the PDF or anything, I can just hit on this export, analyze in Excel, PowerPoint, or PDF. So when I hit on the PowerPoint, okay, so embed in the image or embed live data. So we have this option. Again, PDF, how you want to convert. So let us do one thing. I'll just do a PDF. So it says current values, okay, or only the current page. I say only current page means only this page. I say no. Current values, yes, whatever the current, that is right now, whatever the values are there, the current values, that is just take it. It just say export. Yeah, I'll just take, first I'll export this. I'll take even Excel also. can see it is exporting to the PDF format. You download to the desktop, and then you can Power BI desktop, no? Then, because if you want as a dynamic with a live data when it's changing, so when it is a PDF file or a PPT file, they'll not have a data connected to that, no? So you'll not be able to get a live appearance. So that is only for the presentation. This is again a static presentation. So you want a live presentation, so you need to present to this, but through this one itself. Or you can share the link and you can just open the link. And this is like, it's a browser based, no? So you can open from any place. You don't need to have installed the machine. Even from a mobile, you can open this and you can present it. So this is going to be, okay, yeah, you can see it has been done. Okay. Yeah, it's a PDF file. I think we did all the steps with it. Cat over the animation. Good. Fine. You got it. How do we convert to the PDF? So now I say you want to export this to analyze in Excel. So it is going to create an Excel file. Yeah. So you can see whole data has been there. And now what happens is, see, it is not bringing the data here, no? It is not bringing the data. But still, if I say category wise, and what is my sales, able to analyze it. Oh, one is the calculated columns are coming in. See, furniture is a profit of 2.4%, office supply 17%, and this. So here what is happening is the data type is mismatching. So that means we have the complete data, guys. Okay, complete data. But what is happening, the data is not coming into your Excel. It is there in the, what they say, the Azure cloud. Okay, once you download into Excel, so we get this particular in the form of pivot table, and we can do the analysis in the various angles. For example, instead of category, I want to do it based on the subcategory. How much is the profit? So you can see highest profit by labels, 44%, appliance 16%, accessories 25%, tables and chairs, you can see negative profits. All this information is here. Okay, fine. So this is we have exported to the Excel. Okay, since you wanted this. So we have this particular export option. You want to share this as a link. So you want to present this with the dynamic. So when I do any changes in the data, it has to, and see what happens in Excel or when you use a PPT or a PDF file, it is going to be a static pages. Okay, so those pages will not be changing, is it? The contents will not be changing. Okay, that is going to be purely a static pages. You want as a dynamic. So in that case, what we do, we just share this link. People in your organization, people with the existing access. Okay, so we can just give the link here. .india. This is my email ID. Okay, within your corporate networks, you can sign in because mine is a different this one. So we can just within your organization, we can share this. So when I share this as a this one, no, so what happens? This link will be shared. So and people can access this particular link, and what happens? They have a complete dynamic interactivity. So if they select a particular here, it shows me all the data related to that particular year. Okay, if I just select a particular, okay, what you say, the category or particular segment, so accordingly you can see all those particular visuals are changing. Okay, fine. Okay. So now if you want to edit in the Power BI service, you can just hit on this edit. So this will be in the editable form, just like how we used to do the editing. Even as soon as I click on editing, I got this particular visualizations. I got the data pane here, so I can just what to say, create a new visuals, new graphs, and all the things. I can take the help of this fields. I can take the help of those visualizations and all the things, and I can create my own graphs also, or we can even customize this also here. Okay. See, from here you have the different views here. You want to fit to the page, weight, total size, or you want to make it as a reading view. Okay, you want to make this as a mobile layout. I just hit on this. It will show you how it is going to appear in the mobile. See what happens, in the mobile, the screen size are different. Okay, so it is like a portrait view, top-down approach kind of thing. So you want to show this in the mobile view. Okay, so all the things can be done. So in the mobile view, we can just like you can just see. So this is the kind of a mobile layout was been shown, and what are the visuals are there. It is showing this. So and you're going to just place it like how you want to place this on this one. So I can just say drag and drop this over here. So how you want this? See, in the case of, see, if I just talk about a mobile view, we are not going to just like that zoom out and zoom in. So when you use a zoom out and zoom in, will not be able to see. Okay. So in the case of mobile view, what happens? Your complete orientation will change. Okay. The way you present is going to change. So that is what we can do in the case of a mobile view. Okay, I can go to the mobile view, we can present it, and the same this data, I can just see, like, when I'm seeing this particular page in the mobile, yeah, I want to appear something like this. So we can just decide those particular things. So before in hand itself, you need to decide, like, where you want to show the filters. Generally, try to show the filters in some corners or at the top and things. Then you can just use some area for displaying this particular, what you say, the cards and all these things. So you can just do this. You can just got it. Changing to the view. So this one you can have a slightly smaller font and all these things. So we can just, okay, we can just set the layout. You can see a scroll is going on. So it will be scrolled like this, and you place the items and the mobile may, so it will be showing like this. The charts, this particular dashboard. I just want to display this over here. I say I want it over here. And I want it here. You can put all this one also filters and all this. You can keep it and things. Your mobile view also is ready, and this also is ready. The normal view will be showing in that way, and this will be your mobile view. You can place all those particulars there where you want it, and it's just going to reply. Okay. Without logging in, you cannot publish. So you need to have a corporate account, which I said, no, I'll be getting the corporate account. Okay, so fine. So this is about, how do we create a report and publish. So next is we'll see how do we interact with the database. Okay, how do we get connected to the SQL server. So see, till now we saw, like, how do we interact with the Excel file. Okay, how do we read the data from the Excel. So now we'll see how do we get connected to the databases. Like we'll see an example of SQL Server database, and there we'll see about how do we use this import and the direct query options, what is the pros and cons of those particular things, and yeah, and how do we write a query to get the data from the database, so we can look into it. I think just before we go, we'll take a short break and then we'll resume back. Is it? So we'll just take a short break and we'll resume back and we'll see about data connectivity. You want timer to be running? We'll take a 10 minutes break.
हेलो हाँ घर पे ही हूँ ना भाई कंटिन्यू हो नहीं पा रहा है यार हम्म ठीक अरे आ जाएंगे हम्म हम्म ठीक भाई ठीक ठीक
Excuse me. Hope everybody are back. Hello. Hello. Yeah, that's still good. I hope you probably have SQL in your mission. If it is there, you can just use that. Okay. If it's not there, no problem. Just listen to it. That should be fine. Okay, no problem. I think you can just listen. You can try to understand it as fine. So now you can try to install. Okay. So fine. Here what I'm doing is I'm opening this particular SQL Server Management Studio. So we know that SQL Server is a pure database where the data is stored in the form of relational database. That means it can have one or multiple tables. It's a proper server, and we just get connected based on the authentications to this particular server, and we access the data. Okay, so it generally supports the SQL language to query the data. Generally, SQL is the backend for storing and managing data. Okay, now let us see, like, how do we get connected to this particular SQL server, and how do we work with this? Okay, this is what we will learn now. Now I just connect to one of the database here. So in the server we can have multiple databases. So I'll use this Northwind. It's like, it's about the inventory system data. So which contains a lot of tables related to the products, the categories, the customers, customer placing the orders, order details, suppliers who are supplying the products, and various things. A lot of tables are there in this one. Okay. So now in this one, you want to fetch the data or something, we generally write a query to see this particular data from the table. Okay, so now we'll just see, like, how do we get the same data into my, what is it, Power BI. Okay. So if I have to do that, I'll just do one thing. I'll just close this one. I'll just open a new Power BI. Yeah, so you can see this is all the tables what is there. And so we write a query like this to see the data. So here, see, if I have get connected to this one, I'll just hit on this particular get data. Meanwhile, you can see, I want to see data from the products table. You write a query like this: select star from products. So it is showing all this particular products data here. Shown. Okay, so like that, we can see that we have employees table, price table, suppliers table. There are a lot of tables here. Okay, so you want to get this particular data, so we just write a query to get this particular data, and so on. That is what is the thing we give respectively. So now, I just want to see this particular data in your Power BI. So now, see what I do is I just hit on this particular get data. So what we were doing is the Excel. Now I want to go with the database. I just hit on the database, and I want to connect to the SQL Server database. Okay, so I'm selecting the SQL Server. It's a server. So I'll just select. So what you can do here is I've just gone through this database, and there I've selected the SQL Server database. Then I'll just say connect. See, if you're getting connected to this particular server, you need to have some credentials. Credential is what is the name of the server to you which you're getting connected. What is the database you're getting connected? And we need to give even the authentication, the username and the password. The first thing is you can see here, it is asking for the server name. Server name is the name of the server to whom which you're getting connected to. So that means the server machine name it is actually you're supposed to provide. So in the organization, wherever you're working, so they'll tell you what server you're getting connected to. So how do we know what is the server name? So we can write a query. Actually, this is your server name. You can see /Sadiq and things is there. Or you want to get the name of the server. So I can write a query like this. Select server name. Okay. When I run this particular query, this will tell me what is the name of the server. This is my name of the server to which I'm just getting connected to. Okay. So I just select this, copy this, and then what is that I give? I'll just paste here. That is the server to which I'm getting connected. Okay. So now one more thing is, yeah, this is your server here. So this is your server. Okay. And then within the server, the database is this. I want to connect to Northwind database. So what I will do here is, so I need to specify the database name. Database name. To which database you are getting connected for. So name of the database is Northwind. NORTHWIND. Okay. So I have specified the server to which you are getting connected and the name of the database. And apart from that, in the advanced options, okay, no, it is the queries and all the things. So now here we have two modes of connection here. So when you look into this particular thing here, the two modes are like one is the import, another one is your direct query. One is the import, another one is your direct query. What do you mean by import? Import is when I get connected and you are requesting for some data, the data comes to your local Power BI as a query result. Okay, your data comes to your Power BI and then we'll be working locally within your Power BI. That means we are importing the data to your Power BI. Whereas the direct query means what happens is the data will be present on the server itself. Only thing is from here you'll be writing a query to get the data. Okay. So whatever the visualizations you create, whatever the tables you create, that is going to interact with the data which is present on the server, okay, which is not present locally. Both have their own pros and cons. So when to use import, when to use direct query. See, one thing is when I import the data into my Power BI and when you're working, so you will get a better performance than working on the data which is present on the server. So something like, the data, if it is present locally and you're working with the local data, you will get a better response. Your queries will work much faster than your data present on the server and you're talking to the server and then getting the data. Okay. So that means the performance is better in the case of import. But the limitation of the import is, see, import is importing your data to your local. That is generally stored on your RAM. Your data is imported to your RAM and then you're working, is it? So now always the RAM has a limited space. It has a limited space, is it? 8 GB or whatever it is. So you can work with a very large amount of data. So like, 1 or 2 GB is fine. Much bigger than that, you cannot import. Import is not suggested there. So when the data is very large, okay, you have a limitation on amount of data that you can import. But when the data is very big, Okay, more than 2 GB, like, it's in gigabytes, that's a huge, very big data. So nowadays, people talk about a tremendous amount of data is there, so on which you have to do the analysis. So direct query doesn't have a limitation on the size of the data. Getting a point? Okay, import has a limitation on the size of the data. Direct query doesn't have the limitation on the size of the data. So let the data size can be of any size, still your direct query will work, because we are not reading the data here. It is present over there and then you're working. So apart from that, see, somebody asked me when I started the session, no, they wanted to have that calculated field. I have a profit and sales. I want to know what is the cost, or I have a sales and the cost. I want to know what is the profit. So when you subtract, you get a profit. So we can get this calculated column. That you can do it when you have a local data. So when it is import, yeah, it is present over there. So those particular calculated columns and all those things you cannot create, but you can create the measurable values. Okay, measures can be created. Fine. So we'll see examples of both. How do you work with the import as well as how do you work with the direct query? So my data is not that very big. Okay. Nevertheless, but still I can use both the options. If it is very big, I cannot use the import. I can use only the direct query, but it is not that very big. I'll just use the import and I'll just say okay. And the advanced is like to asking me to write a query and all these things. I want a select statement and all these things. So I say, no, I'll just go with import. I just want to get the complete data from the table. See, sometimes, table might have very large amount of data and you want to get only some selected data. You can write a query and you can use a filter to get only selected columns and rows. Yeah. So you can see it is getting connected to this server. Okay. And this is the database. Use my current credential. Credential is what? Username and the password. See, one thing what happens is in your SQL, let me disconnect. I've disconnected and I want to connect. So when I'm connecting, we have two modes of authentication here. So we have different modes of authentication actually. So we generally use Windows authentication and we use a SQL authentication. See, when I go with the SQL authentication, my login and the password is open. So that means I need to provide the credential, username and the password. Then only I can use this particular authentication, SQL authentication. But at the same time, when I go to this particular Windows authentication, you can see this is grayed out. This is disabled. That means when I go with the Windows authentication, I don't have to provide the username and the password. That means, okay, see, my server is present on my same machine. I'm the power user. I'm an admin user. So power users will have more privileges to get connected. Yeah, if you have the privileges to work with the database, you don't have to provide the username password once again. Okay, it's something like your phone is there, and in the phone, what you do, you can use the locking for the individual app level as well as the phone entry level lock, like login, screen lock. See, most of them, what we do is, okay, anyhow, my phone will not be used by somebody else, so only I use it. So I don't want to keep a lock for every app. I just keep only screen lock. Okay. So when I unlock, I can access all the other applications also. But some people say, no, for high security reason, I will try to have a security on my screen entry level as well as the app level. So based on that, we can take a call. See, when I go to the Windows authentication, means it will be authenticated by the username and the password to what account you are logged into your Windows machine. If that has the credentials to work on the SQL server, that is enough. No need to provide another username and the password. But if you are not a power user, so in that case, Windows authentication will not work without credentials. So you need to go to the SQL authentication and you need to provide the username and the password. Getting my point? So that means we lost your voice. Okay. Still you're not able to hear me? Hello? Hello? Hope I'm audible, guys. Okay. For how long the voice was? Okay. Fine. See, I was just telling, like, when you are connecting to the SQL, we have this authentication mode. When I say Windows, you don't have to provide the username and the password. So this is authenticated by your Windows, okay, your operating system level. Okay, for the Windows, to get into the machine, I've given the password. No? If that is a power user or he's the admin user or is the user who has the privileges to work with SQL Server, that is sufficient. Now, but if you have logged in as a normal user, guest user, in that case, you'll not have the permission. So in that case, you have to give the username and the password. So generally in the real time, what happens, you'll not be working directly on the server. You'll be working from the remote location. So you need to give the credentials and then get connected. So your company will give the credentials to whichever the server you're connecting. So every individual will have your own username and the password to which you'll be getting connected. Okay. So now I'm using in my personal machine. So personal machine, I use a Windows authentication. So now here also it is telling you want to use the current authentication or use the alternate credentials. That is, if you know the username and the password, you can provide. I think my username is SC. Password is 123, I think. Level, I think should be correct. I think I don't remember the password and things. So I'll go with my current credentials. So they'll be giving you the credentials. Whatever the credentials you connect to the SQL, that you need to provide. Encrypt data source using the encrypted connection, the access connection. Okay, click OK. Yeah, it is just getting connected. Yes, I do use the Windows authentication because I work on my personal machine. No? See, but generally, when you're working on your server is on a different machine and you'll be using a client machine. No? So you have to go with the SQL authentication. That's the username and the password, whatever is given, you have to provide that. Okay. So when you go here, you can see it shows list of all the tables, views, everything. So that means in your database, I'm using a Windows authentication here also. So you can see in your database server, there are many tables. And not only that, apart from the tables, we also have a views. Views are nothing but the virtual tables. I don't know how many of you studied SQL and things. It is showing list of all the tables and all the views. So that is what it has been shown here, all the tables and views. Now say example, I wanted to see that products table. I'll just select the products table. When you select, you can see it's a preview. See, till here, it was slightly different. After this, what you did with the Excel, same procedure will be following it. Because it is interacting to the server, getting the data from there, and then it is going to show you the preview, is it? Yeah, it is showing the preview of this particular data. Okay, then as usual, we have a load which will take you to the Power BI desktop. Transform will take you to the Power Query editor, do the transformation. I just say load it. So you can see of all the tables and what views, what is here. The same thing was been shown here also. You can see your products table has been loaded. This is the columns what is there, and you can see this is a report. This is a data view where you can see the preview of the data. And as usual, you can use a DAX function. Okay, you can go even to the data modeling. Okay, for that we need another tables. No? So we can pull the data and tables, and we can do the data modeling. Yeah, we can see even the data also. Okay, so you want to get if you want to do the data modeling, I need to get more tables. No, database, SQL Server. Get data from the SQL Server to get. I'll just get one more table. I take the categories table. Same only. I say Northwind. I'll use the imported. If you know the SQL script, no, there is still advanced option. You can write a join, and you can get the data as one output. Categories table I just wanted. Yeah, we can do it. What is your doubt? You want to speak, is it? I can speak. Okay, what is your name? Jukumar. Sorry. Yeah, Jukumar, you can talk. I think I've given you the permission. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Sir, actually, just a small doubt. For Power BI, we are taking two types. As of now, we've seen two methods. One is Excel data source and one is SQL database source. So in these two, which is more useful for small data and big data? If a folder having several 4 or 5 Excel sheets in the system, is it good to use Excel sheet as a source or server as a source? Actually, how SQL server is better than using Excel sheet as a source? That's just one point I need to understand.
Yeah, I think it's a very good question. See, generally when I talk about Excel is not a database software. It is a data summarization and analysis tool. It's an application tool. It's not a good database. Other thing is what happens in Excel, you don't have this concept of primary key, foreign key, relationships. So it doesn't have that RDBMS norms and all those things, right? But Excel is very good at doing the analysis, creating a pivot table, doing a lot of calculations, lookups, and various different types of calculations, graphs, you can do it in Excel. You have all these things. But when it comes to a database, Excel is not a good at database. Fine. But when you talk about SQL Server, it's a pure RDBMS. Okay, it follows the rules of Dr. E.F. Codd, which is the master for RDBMS. He defines certain rules on what basis they consider as a good database. Okay, it's called as a relational database management system, where the data can be stored in multiple tables with the relationship to avoid the redundancies, to maintain the consistencies and all those things. That is one thing. Second thing is, when it comes to Excel, there is a limitation on the number of rows. Okay, so the total number of rows is 10,48,576. Fine. And not only that, forget about that. You just exceed more than 50,000-60,000 rows, your lookups and all this thing will take very long time. Excel is slow. Okay, it cannot support a large amount of data. It has a limitation on the number of data. But when it comes to the database, you can store unlimited amount of data. Basically, your hard disk is full. Okay, so I can say in that basis, SQL Server is the more preferred over the Excel, because that is, SQL Server is purely a database. See, SQL Server doesn't have the features of graphing, creating the graph and creating the VLOOKUP and whatever you do. But Excel is like, it gives you multiple things. It's more of an application. It's just an application. But when it comes to the SQL Server, that is purely a database software. Okay, Kumar?
Yes, sir. Sir, one
So,
more one point.
for the large amount of data in the real time, in the real data, they'll be using the server. And moreover, what happens when it comes to the server, they have better security also. So I can say, like, if in the organization, if I'm a clerk should access only the information related to him, whatever the tables are needed. Admin, he should have access on some other tables. If I am a accounts manager, I should have access only for the account related tables. That can be done. So it means on a single server, we can have multiple users created with the different accounts, and every individual user can be given certain set of privileges on what tables, what kind of queries he can execute. That you cannot do it in Excel also again. So it doesn't support multi-user. So there are a lot of benefits. So in that basis, we cannot even compare it. So Excel is not at all a database. So it's a kind of a file system. So where you have the data in the form of rows and columns, and you are just using it. There is no other go. But when it comes to a real-time data, so always we have to go for some good database, either Oracle or MySQL or SQL Server. Nowadays, people go for big data or distributed data. We have a Snowflake, PostgreSQL. There are many things. Okay, so they go purely for that database.
Yeah, sir.
Okay.
Sir, one more question, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, now we read this in Northwind database. We read products. So with this one, can we access other tables data also with this link?
Means other database or?
Means products only we are taken here. So other tables also there, na, in the Northwind data.
You can even import multiple tables.
Okay. So if we import only, then only we can access.
That when you're importing, we also have the query window. When you go to the advanced, there I can write a query which is going to pull the data from multiple tables in SQL. No, use see again, if you have to work with SQL Server, we have a language, specialized language called as a SQL, so structured query language. There's a language to interact with the database.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so those kind of things are there. So here you can see I've just pulled this particular two tables are there, and you can do this particular data modeling. So here, this one thing is like, that connected to the server, the authentications and all. So only that is the different, remaining all remains the same. So you can see, it has says automatically that there is a common column between this is the customer ID, category ID. The link is also created, the type of link, everything is there. So and then what you do is, I want to know, like, each category wise, okay, what is the stock available? So I can just go here for the table here. I'll just select the category name, and each category wise, I want to know what is the stock available. Yeah. I'm able to get all the summarized values and all the things. Actually, we are getting the data from two different tables. You can see from the categories table, I'm taking the category name and based on this one. And it will take all the stock available based on the category name. So if category ID is link to that. So based on the category ID, it will match and then get only those categories units in stock. It'll sum up and then it will say, oh, this is what is it? Beverages, we have 541 pieces. Condiments, we have 507 pieces, and so on. See, if I have to do this in SQL, no, I write a query like this. We write something like joins, guys. I just say select from the categories table, C, join with the products table. So I've joined with categories and the products table. Sum of what is it? Units in stock. Say sum of units in stock and how they are related. How they are linking. Let's see. Yeah, so in SQL now we write some query like this to get the same data. Need to say actually, like, if you are writing this particular query, so we write so much of query to get this data, same data. So actually in SQL, this is a SQL language, guys. Don't worry, I think when you learn SQL, I'll be teaching you this thing. So this is the query, like, I wanted to see each category wise what is the stock available. So I need to say as total stock. And when you run this one, you can see each category wise what is the stock available. It just shows me this data. Okay, we are getting this. Now I don't have to write those particular queries here. So since what I did is I went here, I created a relationship. That also, Power BI has automatically detected the common column it has created. I just went there, I took the table and I said, okay, from the category table, pick the category name, and from this one, take the units in stock. So here by default, the calculation is sum. I want to get the average and all this. So you can see is see, people who work on SQL, they write this particular language. So, but what happens when you're writing this language? So this is really useful when you have very large amount of data and the data is being scattered across multiple tables and all this thing. So with the help of this particular language, we try to find out how the data is being gone into different places and how we pull the data from that particular different places and generate this particular report. So generally what we used to do before is we used to take this data, pass on this particular data to my front-end application and then create a report. In Power BI is you don't have to write a query at all. So on a single clicks, you are able to do all those things. We can easily convert this to a graph. All those things can be done. Right? Which category has done the highest sales and all those things. We can easily make out. Okay, fine. Hope you all got, guys. Hello. Okay. So that means you can see here, we just saw like, how do we pull the data here and how do we work on this one. Okay. Yeah. See, the other thing is what I want to show is this is about your direct query. Okay. So now when this is the input. So that means in the case of input, what is happening is I've imported this particular data to my local, okay, and then I'm just working, is it? So today is 28. Okay. So here what you can see is you can see the data. You can create a relationship, okay, and then we can even just create the visuals. That is what we do in the case of import data. But if I'm using the same thing, using a direct query, what happens? Okay, we'll just see that example. So what I to say is we could see this particular data of both the tables. You select the product, it is showing the data of the product. If you select the categories, it's showing. You go to the data model, we can see how we can create a relationship and all these things. So now what I will do is I'll just take another example where I'll show you how do we go with the input query, direct query. I'll just say Power BI. Yeah. So now what I will do is I'll show an example how it happens in the case of a direct query. So where you're now going to import your data. So advantage of this is you can work with database of any sizes. There is no restriction on the size if you're using a direct query. But one thing is you'll not be able to see the data. You'll not be able to do the data modeling. So if I'm working with this, you should be really good at the SQL. Like the command I wrote here, no SQL kind of thing. I think you have already learned SQL or you have SQL in the future? I think next you'll be learning SQL, no? Okay, fine. That I can look into. Yeah, so I'll just use the database here. SQL Server. After Power BI. Okay, fine. Yeah, as usual, we see the server name. What is my server name? Here I'll use a direct query. See, that time I use the input, now I'll use a direct query. I'll select the direct query here. I'll just say okay. Okay. So I'll just say, take an example, I'll go with the products table. Yeah, this is the table, is it? I'll just say load. Okay. Now you can see, when I go to this, you can see any observation here? There is no data, is not there. You can see the data tab itself is not there, is it? There is no data tab, only the reports and the visualization, is it? So that means I can create a report. We have all those particular fields, okay, but we don't have the data tab. So we cannot see, since I don't have a data tab, no, you cannot get this computed column. Okay, but we can create the measure, because measures are nothing but the calculation which is created at runtime. Yeah. So we can even create the relationship. That is fine. We can do this. So that means I can even pull another table here and say the server. Okay. I'll say Marcin. I'll say direct query itself here also. and see categories. Yeah. So you cannot see the preview of the data. That means you cannot work on those particular tables things. But still, like you can see, you have all the options of creating all the visuals. What we did, because we have this particular, so we have only two models. We don't have a data model because the data. One thing is it clearly says the data is not loaded. Okay, so when you're working, the data is present on the server, and whatever the visualization you drag and drop and you create, you're working with the server, not with the local data. So you will slow performance. Okay, because the data is not present locally in your Power BI. It has to go to the server, communicate, and then it has to get it. So, but the plus advantage is, so you can work with any size data. There is no restriction on the size of the data if you go with the direct query. Okay, I think rest all the features are fine. Yeah, I hope you all understood this. All clear, guys? Yeah. See, even the relationship is there. As usual, whatever we did, we can do it. I'll take a simple table. I'll take the category wise. What is this? I'll take the same thing. Yeah. So this is what you can see. You have all the features what you do with the input. Only thing is data is not present in your Power Query. It is present on the server itself and you are interacting with the server. Okay. I think this should be fine, is it? Yeah. Any questions are there you can ask, we can conclude the session. So just before we conclude, just recap of what we have studied today. So we just saw how do we create a dashboard, how do we publish this particular dashboards to the Power BI services, and then we looked into how do we download as a PDF, PPTs, as well as how do we share those particular dashboards, and then we looked into how do we interact with the database, and also we understood what is the difference between the import and the direct query. Imports your data locally to your Power BI and it works. Direct query, the data will be stored on the server and it works. Data query, you don't see, in the case of direct query, we don't see the data here in Power BI, but we can do the rest of the operations. Okay, we cannot create a column. Whereas in the case of, but measures we can create. Columns we cannot create because there is no table itself. No? Fine. So that's what. And rest of the features as usual. So the both have their own pros and cons. So import is much faster than the direct query, but import has a limitation on the data, and the direct query doesn't have a limitation on the data. First to install SQL. I think when we go to the SQL class, we'll be learning because that installation will take a lot. It's a heavy software also. Okay. Maybe immediately after this we'll be starting. No, the first session is still we'll be learning how do we install the SQL Server. Okay, that should be fine, Mark. Okay. Fine. Thank you all. Hope it was informative session, guys. Okay. Thank you all. We can conclude the session. Any questions are there? I'm there. Or if not, we can conclude it. Yeah. Thank you all. Hope all had. Okay. I saw a lot of interactivity and things. That's really good. Thank you one and all. See you all tomorrow, same time. So we'll see like, more advanced visuals. How do we add more visuals and all those things? We'll look into those particular things in tomorrow's session. Thank you all. Bye-bye. Feature, we will learn SQL, that is the fourth query. I'm in LinkedIn.
ये जब से रिकॉर्डिंग चली नहीं है, चली रही है।